Strong women are not simply born, they are made by the storms they walk through. And our guest has braved many such tornadoes before emerging into this inspiring woman. Welcome to Baatein Ankahee with Urvashi Dholakia. Hi Urvashi, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me here.
You know, before we start the conversation, I have a small surprise for you. Okay. There's a colleague, friend of yours who sent a special message. I would want you to hear that, and I really want to see your reaction.
Okay.
Here we go.
Now my mind is racing.
Here we go.
Hey Urvashi, what's up? This is Ronit. Urvashi, the best part about you and me is that, of course, we work together, but more than a colleague, you've always been a very, very dear friend. And what's even better is that we may not meet very often, but whenever we meet or we talk, we start off from the same place where we left. So I love this bond that you and me have, the bond, the understanding and the friendship. And what can I say? I wish you all the very best, always, with love, with your career, with family, with your kids, and hope to see you soon. Good luck, Godspeed, lots of love.
Oh, thank you, Ronit. Thank you
That's
so
really
much.
sweet.
That's really sweet.
An equation that goes back so many years.
Yes. The last I spoke to Ronit, we had a very funny, cackling conversation. Was when I was making, during the lockdown, because I said there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I started my own YouTube show.
Yes.
Called Trending Now with Urvashi, and so I thought of Ronit as a guest.
Yeah.
Had to be,
Yeah.
And it was such a cackling conversation. And
Yeah.
I really cornered him because I was playing all these new era games, new age games with him, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, this is the way it's going, so you might as well go with the flow."
Yeah, and I'm sure he's a sport.
Yes, but he's a wonderful person.
Yeah. I saw one of your television programs where your teacher Rita Miss said, tough people do last. She was talking about you and the struggles that you've been through, and I completely agree with her. Tough people do last, but for some reason, and I've followed your career for many, many years. I've spoken to you in the past. Something tells me behind this exterior of this tough woman, there's this sensitive Urvashi that you guard very closely. Is it true?
Yes, I'm human. I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
I have the same emotions that you and everybody else in this room has.
Yeah.
There was a time when I was not able to control that. I would show it very easily. And obviously, life is a school for me.
Yeah.
There are some standards which are very difficult, some subjects which are very difficult, but you have to just pull through that. And I can't keep showing my emotions all the time.
Yeah.
But yes, who know me know the real me.
Yeah.
Who am I as a person? Yes, I'm very headstrong, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm extremely emotional.
Yeah?
Extremely. I'm a very, very family person. For me, my family is top priority. It has always been top priority.
Absolutely.
And nothing can change that. So tomorrow, if I have to let go of a show, I will. I will do anything for my family.
Sure.
Though I work for them.
Yeah.
But then I do it for them, right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were we always like this ever since childhood, or did the tough times that you faced made you a little more stronger and a little more guarded? There's a shield there, obviously. It's evident, and I know that.
I suppose we all have our guards. It all depends on how big they keep growing with time. I do have my guards, but it all depends. If I have to break them in front of you, I'll break it.
Sure.
It all depends on my mood. I wasn't like this from my childhood. I don't remember it actually, to be very honest.
Really?
I don't. I started working since I was 6 years old.
Yes.
So you have to understand that now we are going back 38 years. I'm going to be 44 in a month's time.
Yes.
2 months' time actually.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I started working in an era where, working in the industry was not very looked up upon. It was quite looked down upon. I tried to make a lot of friends, and obviously their parents would not approve of our friendship or whatever. They would think that it's a taboo working in the industry, or ye hai, wo hai. They did not realize that at that point of time, the whole concept of being independent, matters.
Sure.
Today, if you ask any child, any parent, they'll want their kids to be independent. I've seen so many parents like that. But at that point of time, it wasn't like that. I faced a lot of flack.
So what kept you going then?
I love acting.
Sure.
Ever since I remember my father got a television set. I'm talking about now in the 82, like I was like 3 years old, 4 years old or something.
Sure.
And national TV wala wo tick 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 button wala aata tha. And I used to look at all these ads and all these baby ads and all of that. And I told my mother one day that I don't want to watch it. I want to be in it. And that's how it all started.
Sure. Was the industry per se, because you've been a part, like you said, you started from
38 years
38 years in the business. Was industry more forgiving then than it is now? Or do you think it has really evolved in the mindset?
The industry has definitely evolved. I'm not going to say it was forgiving then or it is forgiving now.
Yeah.
It was tough then, it is tough now.
Yeah.
It's just that the dynamics have changed. The whole perspective has changed.
Sure.
The platform has become way bigger than that time.
Yeah.
I suppose, wouldn't say forgiving, but it can be quite thankless.
And I agree that it has evolved, but I think technology-wise it has evolved. But otherwise, for example, I think in 2017 you took to Facebook when you said that, you were pointed out saying that you have to lose weight for getting a show, I think, and you were asked if you don't lose weight, you will not get the show. We talk so much about body shaming today, but do you think in terms of casting, we have really gone that far?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean to say there are certain people who don't look at it that way, which I'm happy about, because there is definitely a sect of people who don't think that way, but there is definitely a sect of people who think कि नहीं अगर तो है तो तुमको पतला ही होना पड़ेगा. I mean to say, why? Have you seen the men?
Yeah.
Well, if you're expecting that out of women, and that's generic, let me tell you that. Let's not just limit it to in the industry.
Yeah.
It's a generalized thinking of the society.
I agree.
So if you've gained a little weight, so I've gained weight.
Yeah.
It's my body weight. I will gain it, I will lose it or whatever.
Yeah.
But primarily why target women? Why body shame women?
Yeah.
I mean to say, do we, when a man walks with a paunch or with a belly, do we say, ye dekho family pack ja raha hai? They find pride in calling themselves a family pack.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then why look down upon women?
Yeah.
There have been times. Yes, I do remember somebody had told me that, I need to lose weight or else I will be chucked out of the show.
Horrible.
But, such is life.
I find it very horrible. Even today, I speak to so many actors.
But mind you, it wasn't the production house was run by a female. So you can imagine.
And like I was telling you, I am very, because I speak to actors a lot on daily basis, and everyone, whenever I even speak to them on a dinner or wherever we meet, we speak about inclusivity, but I think we are so far away from that today.
No, we are far, far away from that. We have too many things to learn yet.
Yeah.
We are not even, we think we are all broad-minded. We think we are all getting progressive along with time, but no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Do you still feel?
I have been a single parent at a time where progressive, where it was like, whoa, what?
Tough.
And nobody would even accept it willingly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today?
I don't think today also it would be easy.
No, it is.
It is comparative.
Yeah, it is. Because today people are setting examples.
Of course.
People are setting examples and people are trying to break that niche. And there is a whole wide world out there, a whole set of people who accept it graciously.
Yeah.
I didn't work. At that point of time, I had to work really hard to get there.
I can imagine, Urvashi. I really can. Actually, I can't imagine what you went through. It's something that you have to experience.
Yeah.
You just mentioned you've been a single parent, and in one of the interviews, Neena Gupta ji once said that a lot of people told me at that time, we will marry you so that your child gets a name.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Did you have that as well?
Are you nuts? I gave them my name.
Of course, and you should.
I'm not going to
Right,
wait for
so-
anybody. No.
Yeah.
No way.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm so sure that she, someone or the other must have told her that.
Yeah. Did you get any similar reactions from?
No.
No? What were the reactions?
But by the time by the time they were growing up and I came back and I started working in the field, I got such a character that कोई पास में नहीं फटका उसके बाद. No offers.
I'm sure they must.
They
have
all
been
kept
very
relating me with that character, and I'm like, okay, fine.
Komolika.
Yeah, I mean to say,
Yeah.
nobody dared.
Yeah.
You
You know,
know.
I was thinking about it, and I think you're probably the only actor who has a background music which is related to your character. So अभी भी कहीं play हो जाए तो समझ में आ जाएगा ये कोमलिका का tune है.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think any actor has that background music which is dedicated to that actor per se.
Really?
I don't think so. At least in the television business. I can be wrong, but I really can't think. Can you think of
Ekta
any
knew
actor?
exactly what she was doing there.
Absolutely. She really knew. But I want to come back to, your time when you decided to become a single parent. What was that? There has to be a moment of strength, Urvashi, where you feel, I will do it. Yeah. What was that moment of strength for you at that time?
Let me tell you one thing. It's not just limited to women, it's also men included. There's nothing like a trigger point. You have to understand that. It is the way life unfolds in front of you each day. And then suddenly you are put in that situation and you realize, oh, now what? It's time. So, you don't have that point, you don't have that time to think. You just have to take that decision then and there and say, okay, this is what I need to do and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I don't really remember a point, what was that turning point? ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. It was a series of events.
Correct.
That culminated and brought me to that point.
Sure. But दिमाग में doubts होता है ना, because you had kids.
नहीं थे. दिमाग में क्या doubt है? बच्चे हैं सामने यार. How can you have doubts when you know what's there in front of you and you know that you have no option but to take the right call? You can't really think na कि अच्छा, should I be doing this? मैं करूँ कि नहीं? No. Also at that point I personally feel relationships, if two people are not getting along, why should the children suffer? Because children are going to grow up, eventually have a life of their own.
Yeah.
And children adapt.
Yeah.
They learn and they learn instantly. Trust me on this. But God has given me a life also, so why should I suffer?
Correct.
And why should the opposite person suffer?
I was just coming
So
to that.
why, just for the kids' sake, who are going to probably go away, live their life, aage chal ke,
Yeah.
why, ruin the one gift that God has gifted me?
Yeah.
That's life, to live.
Yeah.
So I've always, like I always said, if you've read so many of my interviews, if you've done quite a bit of research, I must say.
Yeah.
So you must know that I've always said that, life is a gift.
Yeah.
You have to live it to the fullest.
Yeah.
You cannot cry or have any regrets. I don't have any regrets in my life.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask me, what would I change? Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. I'm blessed with a beautiful family.
Yeah.
I am happy the way my career is shaped up. I'm happy to have met all the producers and the directors and the units and the co-actors who've come across along the way, in this journey of mine, who have helped me grow as a person, who have supported me. Some of them haven't, some of them have. Well, I have been very, very, what more do you need?
Yeah.
What more can I ask for?
Yeah.
In my life? A companion? Everybody wants companionship.
Everybody does.
Everybody wants companionship. And let me not beat around the bush again. I mean, so people say, no, I'm very happy alone. No. Because eventually when you're walking alone and you come across somebody who is willing to show you a little bit of compassion, who shows you a little bit of love, you want that love.
I agree.
So you want that companionship. I'm not saying I want to get married.
Yeah.
But I'm saying companionship is also something that one looks for. When I find one, I'll find one.
Sure. You will. I'm very, very sure. Urvashi, I'm a third child. I have two siblings before me. So I always tell my parents I wish I had seen the struggle that they did for us. Because by the time I came, my siblings were there to shield me. So I never really saw what my parents did for us. Does Kshitij and Sagar know the struggle that you put in, or that time that you wanted the 3,000 rupees to pay their school fees and you were struggling to gather this
They know
money?
of all my struggles. They have seen it. They're extremely protective of me. They do realize it. Of course they do.
Yeah.
They have that sense of realization. They have the sense of struggle. I know what my mother struggled with when she was young.
Yeah.
She's at one point of time, even she's been a single parent.
Yeah.
Not many people know about this actually.
Really?
So you might end up being the first family, I can't call you family, first platform that I would say this, that this is the second marriage of my parents to each other.
Okay.
I have half sisters.
Okay.
But I would never call them half sisters. I have siblings. I have elderly siblings.
Yeah.
All of them. I'm the only child out of my parents.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's how the Punjabi Gujarati thing came up.
Okay.
So, I know that before she got married, what struggles she's faced. Yeah. I know that exactly. And she's been a single parent for 10 years. And I knew that, yesterday I was talking to her. I said, abhi to platforms hai, wo to hamare time pe to kya tha? 100 rupees ki naukari karo, chupchap ghar pe baitho.
Yeah.
I've known of my mother saying कि एक ही साड़ी होती थी, रात को धो, सुबह जैसे ही सूख जाती थी वही पहन के वापस ऑफिस जाओ.
Sure.
Those are the times my mother has seen.
So when you rang up your mom and said, "Mom, this is not working out," she understood.
Yeah. My parents, I don't think so I would be sitting here had my parents not been there for me.
Yeah.
Which is why I keep telling people that parents are the biggest blessing you have.
Yeah. You've done a lot of work on TV, but was Komolika a lifeboat?
You know what? At that point of time, nobody really thought that, the television world will also become so big.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand? I mean to say, I've started from DD days.
Correct.
Doordarshan.
Yeah.
My mother used to be a producer also, so she has also made shows for Doordarshan. At that point of time. We've done those short stories and we've grown up, and then dheere gradually then came in Dekh Bhai Dekh for me. At that point of time, Dekh Bhai Dekh was the grandest shows of them all.
Correct.
It was a multicam setup. It was the first ever multicam setup show.
Yeah.
That we did, and I was a part of it.
Correct.
And that was, so I can proudly say that I was a part of the evolving first one.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Then the second multicam show that I did was Ghar Ek Mandir.
Yes.
For Balaji.
Yeah.
After which I did Kabhi Saut and Kabhi Saheli. And we were just moving on with time. And before that, I'd done a lot of work. I'd done a lot of Z shows. I'd done Mehndi Tere Naam Ki and Zanjeerein. And you name the shows. Now I'm practically forgetting all the shows that I have done. And Kasautii just happened.
Yeah.
Even though I remember very clearly Ekta telling me that you're going to be the next
big thing.
Sex bomb on TV, like, and we were like, दिमाग में उतना नहीं था. And let's be honest, उस वक्त दिमाग में कुछ भी नहीं था because मुझे काम करना है.
हाँ.
I need to work.
Yeah.
I have to fend.
Yeah.
I have responsibilities. All I want is to do good work.
Does it still happen? Has Komolika stuck to your image?
Yes.
How do you break the mold then? Then it becomes, I think, sometimes your prerogative to go and convince, listen, I can do much more than this. Give me a chance.
I have been saying that for a long time. I have been saying that for a long time. That we all are capable of doing things, but then we need to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Where is the opportunity?
Yeah. Where are the creative people we just talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if people have to take me or think of me as a has-been, which they do, most of them, I'm okay with it. I just go with the flow. Let me be very honest, Avinash. I'll be very, very honest. I mean to say, look at where I'm sitting today.
Yeah.
Look at where I'm sitting today. I'm sitting in an office which is the next gen.
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah.
We are now in the digital space.
Yeah.
I'm sitting with you in a digital space.
Absolutely.
25 years ago, I never thought I would be here.
Yeah.
But I'm still here. So for people who think I'm a has-been, well, good for you, I'm still here.
Yeah. True. I agree. More power. Once again. I know your kids have asked you and told you and persuaded you even in the past to get married again. But you don't want to take that path, if I'm correct.
No, like I said, it's not that I don't want to take that path. It's not that I don't believe in the Constitution. I believe in the Constitution. But again, I mean to say times have changed. People get very... we all have a set life. And are people ready to accept a strong-headed girl or a strong-minded woman?
Very valid question, Urvashi. Very valid question.
Are they willing to accept it? You call yourself broad-minded. Are you willing to accept it?
Yeah. It's a very important question to ask. It's true.
I keep asking this question. Are you willing to do it? You have to be willing to do something like that.
But then, what about your need of a companion? What do you do about that then?
Nothing. I work. I'm at home. I'm a homebody.
Really?
Trust me when I say this. I'm an absolute homebody. If you see so many of my, on your digital space, when I'm on any media platform or whatever, you'll see I'm in my bed or I'm at home. I'm just doing everything is at home.
Yeah.
It's a task to get me out.
In one of your previous interviews, your end words were, "Jitna hai, bahut acha hai."
हाँ.
अभी भी यही state of mind है?
बिल्कुल.
Touch wood.
Jitna hai, like I said, I don't have any regrets. And like I again said that if I had to change something, I would never change anything. Jitna hai, bahut acha hai.
Thank you, Urvashi. This was a lovely conversation. I just want to say, just be the way you are, because that's how everyone loves you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad we had this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to Pinkvilla.